I've heard that only hand-cracked nuts are really raw. Any truth to this? Also, how long must you soak nuts and seeds before eating?
Great. Well, it's all over the board on the quality of nuts out of the shell.
Yeah.
I would say this, be careful of dirty nuts. Like you go to a bulk bin, you get a bunch of nuts out, a lot of them are very dirty. If you take them and you put them in a big bowl of purified water and you pour them in there and you're soaking them, if you put this maybe a little bit thimbleful of hydrogen peroxide, food grade, not the stuff in the brown bottle, food grade, 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide in, say what's probably a gallon of water in a big bowl like that, one of those kind, and you stir it around, you get it in there. That's what they do at the big retreat centers like the Tree of Life in Arizona. You're going to see how much dirt's on those things. You'd be surprised. And if you're running all that dirt through you, there can be mold spores on there, and this is not appropriate for people with impaired digestion, and that's why the Tree of Life does what they do. If you want to be 100% sure that your nut is pure, you crack it yourself. That's how you know for sure you got a clean product. Going beyond that, how much should you soak? Depends on what nut it is. I mean, chia seed, 12 minutes, it's ready to go. Almonds, some people say 12 hours, some people say 3 or 4. You kind of go with it, whatever feels good. And it's like that with nuts. Generally, I don't like to soak the high-fat nuts. I digest fat so well that if I soak them, they get really weird and wonky, and I don't really like them. But the high-protein nuts, like almonds, generally, I like those if they've been soaked and then sprouted and then dehydrated. Then it becomes extremely easy to digest, which is a great angle on the technology.
Last question here. Marcy said, my son is 14 and has type 1 diabetes. I saw your film Simply Raw and watched it. However, my son will not eat anything green. He eats mostly meat and potatoes, and he will gag, and he will not put anything else in his mouth when I say he will not eat it. So what can I do to help him change his eating? Where do I start?
Good. Probably with a child, they're not going to be able to hear it from their mom or dad. That's where you start. It has to come from somebody else. So it's got to come from like one of their friends, or it's got to come from somebody else like me, where they hear it from me, not from mom or dad. And that way it gets that little rebellion piece out. Boom. So what I'd recommend in that case is use a little bit of subterfuge and get the information in front of your child in a way where it's not coming from you.
Any recommendations there? I mean, I was thinking, if he's gagging apparently with greens.
I would recommend I would recommend that what you do there is you get something like orange juice and you blend in like greener grasses, which is a grass powder product. You put a couple tablespoons in there, blend it in. You can't really even see that it's in there, and then here's your orange juice. You can do that with also these superfood smoothies like
let's see for diabetics, so that's fine too.
Oh yeah, I guess because this kid's type 1 diabetic, you don't want to put it in something that sweet. But let's say you were using, what's really good is cucumber juice. Celery cucumber is excellent. What's another really good thing like that? It's just low sugar. What's another really good way to approach it is make a lemonade. Make a lemonade and put a little bit of what goes really good. What green goes really good? Marine phytoplankton. Marine phytoplankton and lemon together is like amazing, and you won't taste it. And what's probably going on is probably like the mom's kind of putting wheatgrass in front of him, or kale juice, or super intense green juices. And of course, any child's going to be like, no, that's too much, because they know that if they put that in their body, it's going to cause a massive liquid plumber reaction. That's probably what it is. They know they're going to get the runs, and it's just going to be too much.
And I would definitely recommend get him in an environment where people are more open to this. So bring them to one of David's talks. Get him around people that are open to raw food, that are doing raw food, so that he's like, oh, you know what? Maybe this isn't
super important.
This is totally normal.
Really, really important that you get them around other people and parents and kids that are doing this, and then they get that influence. I can hardly tell you how powerful that has been for many kids I've met over the years. Just being around other kids who are into food, like healthy food, it's a world. It's a world of difference.
So that's all the questions for today that we have. I want to ask you, this week we've been doing all this. We've been doing the Simply Raw celebration at 50% off. What do you think about Simply Raw? What's your opinion on the film in terms of people checking it out and seeing it?
It's an essential film for anybody suffering from diabetes or any family that's derivatively suffering from a member that has diabetes. It's absolutely essential. There's 233 million people worldwide suffering from diabetes. That is an extraordinary number. It's almost incomprehensible. And that means that there's no limit to how many people can find out about this. So tell your friends, put it out on Facebook, send the word out there. We're creating awareness, and we're creating an awareness that what is incurable according to the Politburo bottom line really isn't incurable, as in fact, as Galileo kind of was able to do, is in fact approachable from a completely different perspective, which is what we bring to the table: nutrition and lifestyle.
Yeah, and I think the stat in the film is that 1 in 3 kids born after 2000 is likely to develop diabetes, which is just insane. The numbers are growing and growing. So. So I hope you guys, even if you're not diabetic related, it's still a film that just opens people up to the reality of, hey, you know what? Because in the film, everyone not just their levels in terms of insulin, it's like all their levels go back to normal. They just get healthy because they're eating a raw food diet, and it just helps with everything.
Everything. Yeah. It's a universal panacea, really. When you get back to natural foods, pretty much everything just gets better, and your life gets better. And another thing too is, if you're a health guru out there and you're turning on a lot of people, let's say you're a personal trainer, get 10 videos and give them out. This is like such an incredible media that we have. This video media, amazing.
So thanks so much for for answering some questions. Hopefully, I'm glad I got to have him answer the questions as opposed to me doing them, because he's one of the couple people that I go to for my information. He's the most knowledgeable person you'll find out there when it comes to this stuff. So definitely make sure to check out his website, davidwolfe.com, bestdayever.com,
and sacredchocolate.com.
sacredchocolate.com. So thanks. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll talk soon. Bye bye.
Have the best day ever.